Hey everybody, and welcome to Fiesta Friday. I'm Jason Salas, and we are on site today. We're in the lovely confines of our conference room right now because we want to tell you all about what's going on with Guam's unique culture and history and heritage. You know, here every Friday we always shine the light on our beloved culture and our history right now. But Gillette Yangaro is joining me right now. She's the project director of Guamology, and there's a wonderful project coming up from your organization, Across the Water in Time. Now, we love documentaries here at KUAM. We love talking about film. And what makes this film so distinct and kind of like set it up in what it chronicles?
Okay, well, the project is Across the Water in Time, and it follows the search for the Guam roots of John Perez, who left Guam in the late 1800s. And we don't have a lot of information about those types of men that left. A lot did leave on whaling ships, and so the documentary follows our research efforts to try and find his roots.
Now, one of the problems might be kind of like a strong word, but one of the issues kind of that continues to haunt our people here on the island is that, you know, there is so much history that wasn't documented going down, and only, you know, now through archaeological means it's being, you know, pieced together and everything. As a filmmaker, how do you actually put all these things together when there's such a, you know, basically next to nothing, I would assume?
Yeah, well, there is information. It's just really hard to get to, and you have to be very creative and look at a lot of different things. In following this, we went into DNA research, and that was interesting. And that was ultimately how we made the connection between John Perez, who had left Guam and settled in Hawaii, and Guam was through DNA evidence.
And who exactly did you use for that? And I'm assuming that was like an ultra high tech.
Yeah, well, the family in Hawaii got tested, the descendants of John Perez, and then I had started dabbling in DNA a while back, and I had my dad tested a while back when I was starting to get interested in it. And so I said, why don't you get tested, do these tests? So they did, and it came back as my dad being third cousins to them.
Wow.
It was amazing. We don't have Perez, you know, there's not a Perez, you know, evident in our family, only by marriage. So we still don't know the exact, we're still working on the connection by getting other people tested.
And how did you feel when it was definitively said that, you know, like you made that link? And
it was incredible. It was incredible because when we started, it was just too strange. She just, Yolanda Perez, lives in California, and she'd been doing her genealogy, and she just got on the internet and found me and said, can you help me try and find my great-grandfather? I think maybe he's from Guam, but I don't know for sure. So I didn't know her from, you know, anyone. She was a complete stranger, and I offered to help. And when it came back that we were related, it was incredible. I mean, it was like serendipity. I mean, it's just, how could that happen, you know?
Well, obviously you're very, very beautiful, and you're a very vibrant spirit and very concerned about this issue. I also want to say how incredibly smart you are, because most people on this island, or dare I say in the world, would not just say they dabble in DNA. So to anybody who messes around with genetic science is a winner in my book, I got to tell you.
It's very complicated, let me tell you. I even tried taking a class, and it's still very complicated.
Yeah, so. Geneticists are kind of smart.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so again, now with the film, how did you address, you know, the inevitable patches, you know, like you've got a little bit of history here, and maybe like you said, a DNA test there, and maybe some accounts there. How do you fill in the holes?
It's basically it follows the research. So you actually follow our journey of finding information, and then we present the information that we found, this documents, and we show how we evaluated it. For instance, John Perez, how he spells his name in Hawaii and how the descendants spell his name is John, John, Perez, Paris.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the first hurdle we had to get over.
Paris, France.
Right, exactly, like Paris, France. And so then I had to go through the records and try and find a match for this person. And we went through records and we found the name Paris, Peres, Perry, Perry, and we were able to find documents that you could, by analyzing the information around him, the family members and everything, we determined that was the same John Perez.
Is that because of the Spanish influence over time? And
I'm not sure. When the documents are being recorded, you know, even today, right, you find your name misspelled in many places. And so whoever was recording the information might have just written it how it sounded. And the interesting thing about the name Perez is that in Guam we say, P-E-R-E-Z is Paris, right? But in the United States they say Perez.
Exactly.
So it makes sense in Guam, but it didn't make sense in Hawaii or in California. So until they contacted us, they didn't realize the name
Kind of like
similar.
out here when we say Gutierrez, and if you go to the States, it's Gutierrez.
Right, exactly. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So how can people check out this documentary? Because it's a fascinating subject. It's something that surely a lot of people are going to want to see.
Well, the premiere is going to be next Wednesday at 6 o'clock at the Hyatt, and it's open to the public. I received grant funds, so all of the events are open to the public. So there's going to be 3 showings. The first is at the Hyatt at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, then on Thursday at 2 p.m. at the Kaha Gallery, and then at UOG, the class lecture hall, at 6 p.m. on Friday. And with all of those showings, afterward there's going to be a discussion. So we have a really good, top-notch panelist that will be leading that discussion on different issues related to genealogy, like ethics in genealogy, identity in history, the interpretation of history.
Now, even though the film is going to do so much for, basically telling this story, do you hope to use this as maybe like a launching pad, and like the research continues? Because hopefully people that watch it, they can say, hey, I've got a relative that kind of knows that, or hey, my cousin in the States is a friend of a neighbor of the whole Ferris Bueller thing about.
No, exactly. That we're hoping this is going to be a launch pad for that, and we hope to put it on the internet. So we want to get as wide viewing as possible, and the research will continue. We have a website, acrossthewaterintime.com. So the information that we get will continue to go on to that website. So if you go to that website, you can find much more information than you'll find. You'll find the documents that we have and comments, other clips.
Will people ultimately be able to watch the video online, either through
I'm
like
hoping
YouTube,
so.
or will they be able to purchase it maybe, and so they can share it?
I'm not sure about purchasing it, but they'll be able to access it.
Because it's made off a grant. So.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So anything else that anybody would want to know? I'm sold. I want to be there and everything. I want to see
please come.
Yeah.
I'd like to encourage everyone to come, and I'm hoping that, like you said, that people will see it and then they'll let us know what information they have. The information about the whaling, the men that left on the whaling ships, is really interesting, and I hope to go do some research in that area. And I've actually already received emails from people in the States that have seen just my website and said, my ancestor was a whaler.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm also hoping, maybe have you considered the fact that some people might come up to you after watching the film and they might say, I heard from my grandfather and my great-grandfather that we've got this way ancient descendant lineage to somebody and everything like that. I'm now motivated to put together maybe a project like this.
Yeah. Oh, I think the more the better. I mean, it's just providing information about our culture.
Exactly.
And about our history.
And one more way that we can actually document who we are as a people and continue to move forward. So Juliette, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you
This
so
is
much.
wonderful. And we'll have you come back on after the film premieres and everything. We'd love to hear about how it goes.
Okay, thank you.
So please stay tuned, because Fiesta Friday continues right after these messages.